This is a 2-liter diesel engine, 120 kilowatts, and we'll do the fuel pump, timing chain, and the camshaft timing chain replacement. So let's start the disassembly. And you do not normally leave any of the openings open, so plug them with some rag or some paper towels. Now you have to undo these nuts on the fuel injectors. There is two, one on each side. Yeah, you see guys, it looks quite okay. It's not never seizing down here in the bottom, it's right up here where the O-ring sits. Because there's quite a lot of sludge accumulating on top, so it's normally getting seized here. So what I did, I moved it from side to side a bit, sort of got it loose and then pulled it out. You plug it. Oh, look at that, this one's nice and dry. And to take the valve cover off, you also need to undo these fuel injector fastening screws, so make sure they're loose. Well, if you look on these gaskets, they're quite stiff. Not breaking yet, but now they are. Yeah, look at that. They're cracking, so it's a good time to change them as well. And generally, it looks quite good and quite clean. I'm quite surprised. The regular oil changes do a thing. There's not much sludge. Everything looks quite good. So let's just have a look, slightly lift up the chain. You can see it does have a little play. I'm doing that very carefully with a screwdriver, not going too mad. Yes, it has a slight wear, so we'll see further. We'll measure for how much it had stretched and what will be the difference when we will replace the chains. There's an O-ring on a vacuum pump. It wasn't leaking. It looks dry down here, but we'll replace it anyway. And take the belt tensioner off as well. That comes out. Also, 2 fastening screws for the seat compressor, one from each side. They need to be removed because they are holding the whole plate, which we need to remove. So I did remove one of the sprocket securing bolts because I'm sure that when we will turn the engine, these two will be somewhere up here, so I'll be able to reach them. But even so, you can remove two of them, just leave one, With no load, it's gonna be enough, and it's gonna be enough to hold it in place, and nothing's gonna happen. You can see in the camshafts, it's E and A. These two markings, they should be facing upwards. So this tells you that we are somewhere near the top dead center. As well as the good sign is that the cam rollers are both looking on the left side on the inlet on exhaust camshafts. Still here from the top, we need to remove the alternator generator. When the generator is off, I decided I will do a little cleaning here from the top. Yeah, that looks better. So later on, as we will remove the whole cover down here, I'll start the cleaning, and nothing of this is going to go inside here. So this is going to be good to be assembled already later on. I have raised the car on the jack stands. Additionally supported with the jack and another one on the other side. In case things go wrong, it's not gonna fall on my head. So let's start removing all the plastic. Also remove this plastic cover with these two screws, and take the front wheel off on both sides. When the wheel's off, you need to remove this bit of plastic. Yes, on the right side is the same thing. Time to drain the oil. Yeah, there she goes. While draining the oil, open the oil filter cap, let it drains off as well. Meanwhile, while the oil is draining, remove or release the engine mount screws. Yeah, that one down there, that's loose, and the other one's up here. Just follow where the spanner goes, and it's down there. I have installed the engine holder. Secure it at the securing point. The whole front suspension carrier will need to calm down a bit so we can access the oil pan. Remove all the bolts on the oil pan and take the oil pan out. You need to undo the steering rack holding down button. That's the one over there. You can hardly see it, but it's accessible. You remove these two bolts on a AC compressor. Need to undo 1, 2, and 3 front suspension carrier bolts. I normally do undo those ones, one on this side and the one on the other side. Leave the middle one in, then support it with the jack underneath, and then undo the middle screw as well. And then slowly lower it down, making sure that you've disconnected everything. So I got the front subframe down for approximately some 10 centimeters, and it's enough now to start taking off the oil pan. So guys, after some struggle, the oil pan did came off, and you can see some sludge on the bottom. It looked like some filter part, but other way than that, it's really nice and clean. Some dust. No, that's nothing. So it's all good. Guys, I've been struggling myself to find the top dead center, but as you can see here, in between those markings, right in between that and that dot, there's like a plate inside. That's in the middle is the top dead center. Also, how you can determine that is the way up there is just one hole. Yeah, right over there. You can see that there is only one place where you can properly insert the lock, and that's it. That's the place. Then you're in top dead center. After the oil pan removal, put back the front suspension carrier frame. I secured it only on one bolt over there, so that's enough. Still have it standing on one jack, just in case. And on the top, let's remove the crossbar and start taking off the pulley. And you also need to take off the thermostat and cooling water pump. Now when the AC and the hydraulic pumps are slightly moved off, they are secured on 3 bolts, one's down behind there. So 2 of them are removed, the ones which are touching the cover. So it's released and it's off, and you have to take it off. You can't just leave it on one bolt secured, because you see there's like a tab and it goes over it, so you won't be able to take the front cover off until you moved it off. As well as this one is off as well. Now let's remove the bracket and start removing all the bolts which are holding down the front cover. Also I put the timing test tool on, just to make sure that I'm close to the top dead center, and that with the camshafts I'm not too far off from the truth. So the timing testing tool should stay flash on both sides. As you can see on this side it's fully flash, but on the other side it's not. It's like a good couple of mil, like 3-4 mil off. And it's the same when you rotate it. Let me show you. And it's the same when you rotate the tool around. You also have to install it on a camshaft. There's like a slots. You will see if you're correctly on the top dead center on a compression stroke, then this tool should just fit on. If you missed it, you will never get it even close to it. So as well on this side, it's flashed with the surface, and on this one, again, it's about 3-4 mil off. So this also tells you that the chain has been stretched and the timings have gone wrong already. Not too much, I've seen worse than this, but it's already off, so it's a good time to replace it. Remove this plug. Behind that plug is the tensioner. So we'll need to lock one tensioner right from here through this hole. Now guys, is the most interesting part. Before proceed any further, double check that the flywheel and the crankshaft is locked in a top dead center in the correct position. They haven't moved. Once you did that, we need to where the tensioner is, I'll show you the tensioner. We need to lock it in a closed position and insert the holding pin, which is right inside there. In a toolkit I have plenty of these, so if you don't, you can probably take one out from the new set or so, but it should slide in. But because the piston, this locking pin is out, the piston is out, you cannot insert it. So how do we compress it? We grab a 21 mil spanner and slowly, step by step, pushing turns like that with one hand, and with the other, whoopsie, and with the other you try to push it in. Yeah, now it's locked. The chain is loose. So we did everything correct. So now let's open and remove these shoe holding nuts, and we'll be able to remove the upper shoe, the lower one, and we'll take the sprocket off. And now let's remove the sprocket. the sprocket, slide it aside, and then you can remove the upper shoe. Let's see how it looks. It's not too bad, doesn't have too much wear. It's original BMW part. I guess it's never been changed. And so the upper one is secured with only one bolt, the one we removed from up here, and the other places it just slides on. So during the installation you have to be very careful. Look here from the top, and once you put it in the right position, you'll be able to see that. Now let's take the sprocket off. Yes, and now you can see there is one bolt right down here. Yeah, the same Allen key. And what we did is from here we moved the bottom shoe. Here it is. We moved it aside, and now we can reach that last bolt. Put a flat screwdriver in and try to push it off. It's off. So you can see from here where the chain's going round, and it's still very good. You haven't been started touching any of these brackets, so that's all good. Yeah, you can throw down the chain, take the chain off, take the bottom shoe off. That's the bottom one. Yeah, we can put a caliper on and measure. And the other thing is we can measure the distance here in between the shoes. 18.6. That's like 37.9 is almost 38. So now to take the chain off, also we have to slack this one, but this is easy. You insert the pin and just push it by hand. Okay, they're all slack. You have to use an extracting tool. Show you as well. I hang them on a screwdriver. They're equally here right on the top, holding them with the fingers. So on the bottom you can see there is a difference in length. It does seem a little bit, yes, I do agree, it's not too much considering you have done 250,000 kilometers. Looks like the owner haven't been riding really hard on it. We will be replacing the chain tensioners as well. And to put it back, you need to assemble it like that all together. So new sprockets and new shoes. Here it says 9.3 or something. Yes, that's quite a difference, isn't it? Let's measure it here. And here it's 42 flash, I think. Okay, that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll clean the cover itself and we'll start the assembly process. I will guide you through with how to seal the top surface over here. So let's continue. Let's insert first the bottom shoe, like if it was the first one or the last one to go out. Now it's the first one to go in. Now there's the new chain going in. So this surface, like the cylinder head upper part and the cylinder head gasket, I cleaned it and I degreased it. I also did clean the cover. That's the top part. That one's also cleaned and it's degreased. There's a new oil seal as well installed. On the top surface here, we will apply a silicone.
over here, just a tiny layer. I will show you, just a tiny squeeze around here before we put it back on. So this system works when you put the silicone on and you tight it, it's fine, it stays there and it's not leaking. It's been tested and it works fine. Let's put the sprocket on. And before you tighten the camshaft sprocket, make sure that the timing set tool sits flush on both sides. I have reinstalled the AC and the hydraulic pump, all back on, tightened. The generator is back on. The vacuum pump, there's no special tricks here, just the same reverse or the things you took off, need to put them back. And while I'm here, guys, yeah, you can see already some more parts are back. I also want to replace glove plugs. Yeah, it's 4 of them as on each cylinder, and I'll show you a little trick how to remove them safely, because sometimes they do get stuck in the engine. But there's a trick how to get them all out safely. Is right before you undo them, you tighten them just a little bit, just a touch, when you feel that they're removed, and then you start undoing it. I have never failed on this one. Yeah, that's easy. Ready for valve cover installation. And before you do so, in these places, right here in the corner on this side and also the other side, I normally degrease it and apply an oil resistant silicone. Just a small touch here and here, and that's it, that's enough, and you can bolt it down. So it's time to put the fuel injectors back, guys. I already placed back 3 injectors, just wanted to show you the one and how do I do them. Is right on the tip. I use normally a lot of copper compound, as well as the new washer, new O-rings of course, and a lot of copper compound on this part as well, because this normally stays outside and a lot of like moisture and stuff are accumulating here, and this is why they're sort of seizing. Well, when doing like this, it's been tested, it never fails, it always comes out whenever you need it. So use that one, small tip, and you'll be fine. And another small tip, before you tighten down the fuel injectors, the tightening torque is 9 Newton meters. So before you do that, you have to put on the fuel pipes, because if you do tighten the fuel injectors without aligning them with the fuel pipes, you'll most probably end up that the fuel pipes are going to leak. So the first thing, you put them on, you align, you tighten, and then you tight the fuel injector. Okay, time to start.
When you filled the oil and got the engine ready for start, don't forget to close the oil filling cap like I did.